Down the highway of life, just a gypsy with a full tank of gas. Not sure where my next week is from. Walk down the pedal, singing to the sun. Moonshine, light my way. Won't you take me down the lane? Tomorrow is one more day. So moonshine, light my way. No one ever ready to go. Rocking down the highway, another sold out show. Nice smoke because I roll my own. Reading all the billboards telling me to go home. Moonshine, light my way. Won't you take me down the lane? Tomorrow is one more day. So moonshine, light my way. Had a little trouble way back when. Life ain't easy, back on the road again. Got myself lost way out of town. Said a prayer to the dashboard, I will not back down. Moonshine, light my way. Won't you take me down south state? Tomorrow is one more day. Sunshine, light my way. Coming through the fog after night. We cross your fingers that you'll make it home alive. Shadows jump out from my car. Keep your dice on the dashboard and your light stand in the jar. Moonshine, light my way. Won't you take me down south state? Tomorrow is one more day. So moonshine, light my way. Baby moonshine, light my way.
Good morning, Walrus Nation. You're listening to the Thunder Walrus Show and watching the live video broadcast from the Medieval Custom Cycle Studios in Street, Maryland. Vampire, I believe I have cured my situation with that audio where I move my head and the voice goes up and down and you're reaching over. I think I've cured it. And if you'll watch on the YouTube stream, you'll see what I've done. I went and got my mic stand, brought that microphone up a little closer to the mouth. Blocks the view a little bit. You don't see it quite as much as my ugly mug as you used to. But now I've got that microphone up there where I need it to be. And the volume won't be anywhere near as distorted or won't fluctuate anywhere near as much. Hopefully you're still getting the same audio across the video stream. We're thankful that you're here with us. It's another beautiful Thursday here in the Mid-Atlantic. Yes, you'll hear a little background noise as the boys from Asplund are diligently working across the street to cut some trees down. They're moving right along, so they'll probably be out of earshot before long. I don't even know if you can hear them in the background over the station, radio station, but the folks on the YouTube channel may be able to hear them. But no matter what, bear with us. It will only last a short period of time. I've got your Powerball numbers from last night as well. Get your tickets ready, or get a pen and paper out. I'll have those numbers for you here momentarily. The Walrus Wonders question of the day is up. Do you ever take yourself too seriously? I do it all the time. I really take myself way too seriously quite often. You think, just how important really am I? Bottom line is, in all reality, we're not. Not to anybody but ourselves, and that's why we work very diligently about keeping your happy cup full. Keep that happy cup full. It keeps your head in a good place. And when life gets to the point where you can't keep your happy cup full, even the things that make you happy can't distract you or, I don't want to say seduce, but suppress the things that are irritating you, then it may be time to get rid of the things that are irritating you. And how do you do that? Well, there's no real one answer. It's whatever it takes for you. The situation is what it is. I almost said the P word, didn't I? And for us in the Walrus Nation that are new, the P word is problem. We don't speak that word. We don't have those. We have situations and issues. Whatever the situation is, there's always a solution. Will it always be the same solution? No. It may be the same situation over and over again, but the solution may be different. Whatever it is, the wiggle is your coping mechanism. Get your wiggle on, boys and girls. And for those of you that are new to the Walrus Nation, it's the Wiggle Rebellion. It's our movement against negativity in the world. We just want you to shake the negativity out of your life like a little puppy does when he's got caught out in the rain. Or maybe he's splashing around in a puddle that he shouldn't have been after the rain. You don't want to get caught. So he gets his wiggle on and shakes all that evidence off of him. I mean, negativity off of him. Well, evidence, negativity. In the Walrus Nation, it could kind of mean the same thing. But he gets it shook off of him from the top of his head all the way down to the end of his cute little fuzzy tail. And I'm not saying you have a fuzzy tail, but if you do, well, that's all right too. Wiggle it a little bit. Shake the negativity out of it, off of it, away from it, so that you can get a good, clear focus on the positive things in your life. Stay focused on them. Only give enough attention to the negative to deal with it and move past it. You'll see how things will start to change in your life, because that will affect your attitude, Walrus Nation. It'll keep you focused on positive things. It'll give you a little brighter outlook on life. And your attitude truly is the only thing you have control over. So choose to be happy today. And if you can't find a happy spot, get your wiggle on and shake the negativity out of your life. Your Powerball numbers for Wednesday, August the 13th, 2014. I've got those for you. Are you ready? They're 8, 37, 39, the infamous 40, 52, and your Powerball number was 24. Be sure you write your numbers down. I don't know if there was a jackpot winner. The jackpot went up, so that always indicates that there wasn't. Next estimated jackpot is around $50 million. Powerball draws again on Saturday night. Mega Millions draws again on Friday night. You got to play to win, so be sure you get your numbers. We've got all kinds of great stories coming up for you. Art or artists artistically displaying a lack of security. People, two Germans, get on top of a New York City bridge, take the American flags and replace them with white flags, say it was done as a form of art. I'll share the story with you. You can be the judge of whether it's art or not. Also, in today's program, let me get back to can't find my sheet. There we go. This is it, fellas. I don't even know how to say it sensitively. We've gotten so damn fat and lazy and out of shape that somebody has actually brought to fruition the bro, or as George, Mr. Costanza, Frank Costanza, George's dad wanted to call it the manzier. Cosmo Kramer wanted to call it the bro. And a chest support system for men. That's it. We've got moves now. That's right. Man boobs morphed together and called for the short term moves. Japanese have created an apparatus to help control them a little bit. Guys, nude sunbathing offends churchgoers in Farmington, Utah. It's his property. He says he can do what he wants to. Cops have a different story. Great marketing ideas. We've been looking for a new logo here at Thunder Walrus, or I've been looking at it. I say we. It's me and Pam. It's two of us. And a lot of friends that throw in some help, but, I say it like we're this big conglomerate. Nah, it's me and Pam. I've been looking for a new logo, something that's cooler that people would like to have, on a T-shirt that would interest them, would be cool to wear, and also get our name out there a little better. And so as we were looking around at other logos, I came across this one, and I think it is absolutely fabulous. But when does marketing cross the line of decency? We'll talk about that as well, and much, much more. I'll have to figure out how to capture this picture and post it on my page. And then a woman who was a nurse gives up a fairly lucrative career to go sell something on the beach. It made me think of Pam Pie. That's her dream, to sell little baskets or something on the beach, seashells on the beach. She don't care. She'll sell Corona on the beach as long as she's on the beach. This lady gave it up and said, I'm done. I'm checking out. I'm tired of dreaming. I'm going to start living. And then finally, some questions, not all, but there are some questions you should just answer on your own. You probably shouldn't seek the advice of Siri, Siri, the chick on the phone. I guess it's iPhone gal. Yeah, there's probably a question or two you shouldn't ask her. One of them is, where should I hide the body? We'll discuss that and much, much more. What do I have up coming for you? Scott Bloodsworth out of Wilmington, Delaware. This is his band with Out of the Dark, and you're listening to the Thursday edition of the Walrus Attack Show. We're broadcasting live and streaming video from the Medieval Custom Cycle Studios here in Street, Maryland. Thanks to Medieval Custom Cycles and Rick Stevenson, we're able to bring this to you each and every day. He gives the therapy to my two wheels, so when I need my two wheels to give me therapy, they're rock and roaring and ready to go. You need a service on your bike? Rick's got 120 certifications. He's also a graduate of the Motorcycle Mechanics Institute, MMI graduate from Phoenix, Arizona. He's here and ready to service your bike. Custom parts and fabrication is also available. Custom paint, we can do it all from the ground up, a custom build, or just a simple service, whatever it is you need. Medieval Custom Cycles has got you covered. Come by. Hell, you could be the next guest host of the Thunder Walrus Show while Rick's War Machine services your bike. So come on by and hang out. Talk on the radio a little while, or just sit back, watch, and shake your head like everybody else does. Either way, you'll have a great time, and you will receive great service at Medieval Custom Cycles in Street, Maryland. You're listening to the Thunder Walrus Show. Good morning, Walrus Nation. For those of you on YouTube, the flies are just still unrelenting around here. Unrelenting. Let's minimize that in the back. I probably got, let me see what kind of audio we're getting there. Mainly just me. And it's not really picking up good. The wood chippers outside, and we got some grinding going on the back as we're building and customizing a bike or two. And thank you, Pam Pie, for a great job with the mic stand. Good idea. Now, the problem is I'm just going to have to remember to take the mic stand with me. And I've got more mic stands at the house. I'll bring one that can stay here because this one actually goes with us on the road when we go. So, but thanks for the compliment. I thought it was a pretty snazzy idea myself. Profiling that UT visor, college football is if I watch any football, it's usually college football, and if I can watch UT, I will watch UT. I love the University of Tennessee football. It's always been a great tradition, and they've fairly, in the past few years, they've been, well, they suck, but, you know, they're on the mend. They're trying to recover, and yes, we are still turning the Medieval Custom Cycle Studios into the fly-killing fields. A fly strip's going to be a good idea. I'm going to the farm store and buy me a couple of fly strips today. I'll hang them outside of the picture area. Yeah, they'll be right off camera over here and above my head. Right out there, yeah. That would be cool. No, it wouldn't. Fly strips, y'all remember those? Those are the worst things in the world, man. They're just flies stuck to them everywhere. My grandparents' farm had them all the time in the kitchen, which was always a pleasant thing. Go in to sit down and eat, and there's, 42 dead carcasses stuck to a piece of glue hanging from the ceiling. That's always lovely. Appreciate that so much. Childhood memories, you gotta love them, right? Well, they are what makes us who we are, good, bad, or indifferent. That's how it rolls. I got all kinds of notifications on this phone. People commenting on the Walrus Wonders question of the day about taking yourself too seriously. If you're watching live via the YouTube, be sure you go by Facebook and post up your answer to the Walrus Wonders question of the day. It's on my Tim Yarsh Facebook page. That's up. I'm going to bring the music back up. We get ready to go live back on air with the Thunder Walrus Show. Thanks for watching the live video stream. That ended a little faster than I thought it was going to. Good morning, Walrus Nation. You're listening to the Thunder Walrus Show. You're also watching live video stream on YouTube. From the Medieval Custom Cycle Studios here in Street, Maryland, we appreciate Medieval Custom Cycles for all they do, not only for me while I'm on the road, but offering up the space for the studios here, and they apparently don't have the phone on in the back, or nobody's watching it because it's just ringing away. They must have got it, or it went to voicemail. Either way, we go to New York City, where two German artists have come forward claiming to be the pranksters who scaled the Brooklyn Bridge and replaced a pair of American flags with two plain white ones. That stunt, which apparently took place in the wee hours of July 22nd, sent the New York City Police Department into a tizzy to uncover those responsible. The New York Times head architecture critic, Michael Kimmelman, received a phone call from the artist identified as Mishka Leinkoff and Matthias Wernke, who told him the act was neither terrorism related nor carried any hint of anti-American sentiment. They said they intend to return the flags and explain they intended from the very beginning to return the flags and explained how they got on top of the bridge in the first place. A quote from the Times says, they said they carried the white flags in backpacks up the climbing cables that workers and the police used to reach the towers, and did not see any security cameras. They would not say whether other people were involved. The artist even provided the paper with video footage, presumably shot atop the bridge on the night of the prank. The admission follows weeks of hand-wringing by the New York Police Department and its officials, who have been scrambling for leads, with some even theorizing that the incident was an inside job. As recently as August 8th, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office issued a subpoena to the creators of a parody Twitter account, @Bicycle Lobby, at the person behind the handle jokingly claimed responsibility for swapping the flags. NYPD Commissioner William Bratton indicated at the time that the authorities had a very good idea of who had pulled off the stunt, but it did not provide any further details. Others have come forward to claim responsibility. On July 31st, a marijuana activist took credit for the stunt. Per the New York Daily News, however, an unnamed law enforcement cast doubt on the presumed confession, say, "I doubt this guy's story has a lot of credibility," the source said, per the Daily News. This guy's too stoned to have that kind of ability to scale the Brooklyn Bridge via the climbing cables and cruise up them, swap out some flags, carrying some other ones. But what it does, is it art? What was the artistic message? What were you trying to convey? To me, it artistically displays a severe lack of security on some of the most heavily traveled high roads in our city. In our country. New York City, the Brooklyn Bridge, the George Washington Bridge, the Lincoln Tunnel. There's one outside. Oh my God, I used to know all the bridges, but there's a lot of them. New York City is a heavily traveled, well-organized maze of highways and stuff, and yet two people can just go steal the American flags off the top of them, and nobody has a clue. Nobody's seen nothing. Yeah, because these guys, you don't expect to see people climbing up the Brooklyn Bridge, and if it is, you don't expect them to see them climb back down, if you know what I'm saying. I think that it is a huge, huge indication to me. Yes, this is a Brooklyn Bridge, but so what? It's something that should at least have a minimal amount of security, that if somebody did get through, take something, you should have cameras. They didn't see a camera one. They brought their own camera and took video so that they could prove they were there. They wanted you to know they were there because you didn't see them coming nor going. All you did was go to bed one night and the flags were atop the bridge. You woke up the next morning and the flags were gone, and there was white ones there to replace them. Too bad for you. Somebody was sleeping on the job. New York Police Department says they thought they had set, when they thought @Bicycle Lobby, when they posted and said they were responsible. We have a very good idea. Nope, somebody was just lying. You didn't have a clue, and these two clowns started calling in, had to tell you who they were. And they're like, does it make you feel safe and secure, Walrus Nation? It doesn't to me. What it is an indication of is that we need to be more prepared and more ready to defend ourselves, less likely to call 911. They can't even take care of, the municipalities and responsibilities. They can't protect the bridges. These people, there's two guys. They didn't say whether more people were involved or not. Doesn't matter. These two dudes are the ones that say they were on top of that bridge. They've got video to prove it. They intended to return the flags and explain why they did it. They have explained how they did it. They have yet to explain why they did it, according to this article. But they may have explained it since then, or maybe they have a presentation for the New York Police Department and New York Police Commissioner to say, here's how you can prevent your. Two Germans have to come in here and show us how to protect the Brooklyn Bridge. That's awesome. Eric's Cross is coming up for you next. This is the Thursday edition of the Thunder Walrus Show. Don't forget, there's a lot of fun stuff coming up over the next few weeks. The Nothing Fancy party. It takes place next weekend Our buddy Hillbilly from Strip Club Choppers, PA, New Jersey, will be talking to us tomorrow morning at 10:30. He'll be here, not here live. He'll be on the phone with us, letting us know what we can expect and look forward to when it comes to entertainment, fun. It's going to be the second go-round. He got his feet wet last year. Him and Randy from Randy's Cycle Shack put this show on. Twisted Tea has come on board as a proud sponsor this year. Going to make it even bigger, make it even better. It's nothing fancy motorcycle rally 2014 in Green Lane, Pennsylvania. The Strip Club Choppers, PA, New Jersey. Randy's Cycle Shack, Walrus Radio Network, and Strip Club Choppers Radio. It's going to be a hell of a party. We'll find out more about that from Hillbilly tomorrow at 10:30. Now it's Eric's Cross, and you're listening to the Thursday morning edition of the Thunder Walrus Show here on the Walrus Radio Network. Good morning, y'all. How are we doing? That's awesome. Don't forget the question and answer tab is up, guys. If you'd like to throw a question up there, please feel free to. I'm going to turn the music on. I'm going to run into the little boys' room, and then I'll be right back. So let's put it on auto DJ just in case I came back before.
Then open your eyes and see the light on the other side. Falling below on solid ground. Don't you know I'm breaking away? Yes, I am breaking away. Oh,
Awesome, made it back. Check out social media pages real quick. And learn how to kill flies. Good morning, Walrus Nation. You're listening to the Thunder Walrus Show and watching the live video stream from Medieval Custom Cycle Studios here in Street, Maryland. We appreciate Rick Stevenson and all of the support of Medieval Custom Cycles. allowing us to broadcast here from this fabulous little corner of the strip club. I keep wanting to say Strip Club Chopper's Lounge because that's what I'm used to saying. He created the MCC Lounge here, now as you can see on the video over my shoulder. And it's MCC, SCC, it's too many CCs. Strip Club Choppers, Medieval Custom Cycles, C's, M's. Let's buy a vowel. Can we buy a vowel, please? From the Medieval Custom Cycle Studios here in Street, Maryland. Rick keeps our bikes top-notch running condition, and we ride older sleds. I'm a fan of Evo motors, and I ride a 98. My pole bike is a 91 Evo model. Pam's bike is a 93. So yeah, we like them older bikes, and keep them running is a little more difficult because you don't have all those lovely warranties. And Rick does a great job of keeping our bikes running in top-notch condition. He'll do the same for you. Give him a call at 410-457-5500. Tell him the Thunder Walrus sent you. This is where American, or the world is coming to, but I'm sure they're going to marketing to America, seeing how obesity and fatness is what seems to be killing this country faster than anything. Here's a truly disturbing situation, but it has come to fruition. That undergarment for men that was spoofed on the Seinfeld show so many years ago. When remember when Kramer and Frank Costanza came up with the idea for a male upper chest support system, affectionately known by Frank as the Manzier, and Kramer wanted to call it the Bro. Either way, it was a disturbing idea even as a joke. Well, now it has come to fruition. It's real. Kaku Nishiyaka. Yep. Nishiyaka, owner of Tokyo clothing store, has just started selling a guys only garment known in Japanese as the Kahi Ayosumi bra. Kahi Ayosumi bra. It is designed to help perk up a man's chest, called moves by some while the man sleeps. If a man has good pectoral muscles, he is at just the same risk as a woman of having them gradually stretched and left out of shape. Well, of course, if you don't exercise them, if you had good pecs, you got to work to keep good pecs. It's that whole thing. If you don't use it, you lose it. And now there's something to help you cheat. It says it will help take care of that for you. A man who wears this bra to bed at night will find everything is held firmly in place and looking good the next day. Well, guess what? If I'm laying down flat, of course it's going to be still in the same place and looking good the next day. What does it do? Just support you while you're sleeping so that it gives your muscles time to recuperate and contract back? I don't understand how this keeps muscle tone unless you know it causes you to unconsciously or subconsciously flex your chest during your sleep, which gives you some kind of pectoral workout. I have no idea that this isn't the first time the Japanese bra manufacturers have tried to attract male customers, though, with this type of garment. Let's see how this worked out. The effects of gravity on men's pectoral muscles have been underreported, according to Nishiyaka, or how you say that guy's name, Nishiyaka. Nishiyaka. Sound like I'm sneezing. Nishiyaka. Nishiyaka. It's almost as bad as my own last name. Yarsh. Yarsh is the greatest sneeze ever. What's your last name, Tim? Yarsh. What was it? You heard me. No, I'm just kidding. But are man boobs really that moves? Are moves really that big of a problem that undergarment designers are now actually designing garments to help men falling breasts? Seriously, this is how sad we have become. Do a push-up once in a while. How about do a push away from the table once in a while? How about take responsibility? Remember, folks, life is all about the decisions you make, and we face one big decision each and every day. Our attitude and how we are, what mentality, are we going to be in a good mood? We're going to be in a bad mood. We're going to be happy today, or we're going to be sad today. Sometimes you can't pick to be sad or happy. You can choose to be happy and look at the positive, but even then, sometimes sad things happen. And you got to face it head on with a positive attitude. And that's all we have. That's all we really have control of is our attitude. And we want to help you have a positive one each and every day. That's why we're here with the Thunder Walrus Show at 10 a.m. and streaming the live video from Medieval Custom Cycle Studios here in Street, Maryland. We're having a great day, and I hope you are having a great day. The Asplin boys have moved their way on down the road, so we don't have to worry about them. It's man, how cool was it this morning? I mean, temperature-wise, cool. We woke up in our house after turning the air conditioning off, and it's actually been off for a day or two. It was on Tuesday with the rain because it was just so humid and everything was sticky and wet in the house. You had to turn it on. But after that storm moved through, the windows flew open, the air conditioning turned off. It was actually quite chilly in our house this morning. It was great sleeping weather, all cuddled up with the dogs under the blankets, me and Pam Pie and the two boys, Rocky and Champ. Man, it was hard to get out of bed this morning, but I wanted to get out of bed because I look forward to being here each and every day with you at 10 a.m. for the Thunder Walrus Show, hoping to put a smile on your face, improve your attitude, and help remind you that the Wiggle Rebellion is your tool. It's there for you to use each and every opportunity you get, and when you need it, shake the negativity out of your life so that you can get a good, clear focus on the positive things, the things that make you happy, that splash a little bit back into your happy cup. Our lives are full of things that are taking it out by the scoopfuls. I'm talking about the happiness out of our happy cup. We need to find a way to replace it a little bit. When you can do that, you're a very lucky person, and you should take the opportunity to do it as often as you can. Shake the negativity out, get a good, clear focus on the positive things in your life. Stay focused on them as much as you can, and only pay enough attention to the negative just to deal with it and move past it. You'll see it'll make a big change in your life. The Wiggle Rebellion, use it when you want to. I've got some new kings of rhythm coming up for you. This is the Thunder Walrus Show. You're watching the live video stream on YouTube. Good morning, Walrus Nation. Yeah, it's the bottom one in the fuse box, bottom right. Yeah, open that dude up right there, the bottom right one. Bam. Sorry about that. He should have turned that on before he left. Good morning, Walrus Nation. You're listening to the Thunder Walrus Show, and you're watching the live video stream from Medieval Custom Cycles here in Street, Maryland. We're glad you're joining us, listening, hanging out, following along with us. We appreciate that so very much. Remember that motto, you should be a problem solver, not a problem causer. Sometimes people just find ways to express their freedoms and take a stand just to be a pain in the ass. I believe that's what this gentleman is doing. Farmington, Utah, the Associated Press say a 76-year-old man who police say was sunbathing nude in his backyard next to a church parking lot in Utah has pleaded not guilty to lewdness charges. The Standard Examiner of Ogden reports that Myron Lee Kipp was in a Farmington, Utah court Tuesday. Kipp pleaded not guilty to 4 counts of lewdness involving a child and 3 counts of lewdness, and 3 other counts of lewdness. Okay. The court documents show a police officer called to Kipp's house by neighbors on March 5th could see the man from the church parking lot. March 5th? Why are you sunbathing nude in Utah on March 5th? It's still freaking cold out there, ain't it? I think, hell, it's still cold here. Ain't nobody sunbathing in the Baltimore metropolitan area in March. You might be walking around in just a shirt, but you ain't sunbathing. And of course, his backyard fence is just chain link with no privacy slats. When confronted, a completely nude Kipp told the police it was his property and he could do what he wanted to. Well, police had different ideas. Several parents said they and their children could see the man from the church parking lot. Here's the deal. First off, why are you sunbathing in March in Utah? It's still cold. Second of all, it's Sunday? You know the church. You're just doing this to be an antagonistic prick. I mean, you're just being a jerk. Sunbathe on Sunday. On Saturday. Sunbathe on Monday. In March, like I said, you probably only have that very few days. If you need a tan that desperate in March, go to one of those fake bakes and get in a tanning bed. But don't, the church is in progress only a few times. Sunday morning, some Sunday night, some Wednesday night, some just Sunday morning. Whatever it is, here's an idea. Maybe they could hold a church bake sale to buy you a damn privacy fence so you can walk around with your tallywhacker hanging out all you want to, and then it won't bother nobody. Or why don't you be a little autonomous and responsible for yourself? Take a few of your own dollars and buy yourself a privacy fence to protect others from your nakedness. Because, you're 76 years old. Nobody wants to see that wrinkle sack. It's not like anybody's paying money or you're really showing somebody something they want to see. Matter of fact, you're probably showing people something they would pay money to not see. You get that kind of image burned in your head, you can't get rid of it. It just doesn't go away. There's no other option. You can't do anything about it. But is he just lonely and needs interaction? Sometimes there are so many reasons why people do off-the-wall things. That guy may have nobody come visit him. He knows he hangs out in his backyard naked. Sooner or later, the cops are going to come visit him. You might even get a visit from those guys in the white van that have the white jackets and those little butterfly nets and a very neat but very tight and form-fitting white jacket for you. Really comfy because it makes you feel like you're hugging yourself all the time. Just wonderful. You feel wrapped in your own warm embrace. You never feel unloved or unwanted because you have yourself in that permanent hug. Fabulous jacket. It fits well, warm, comfortable, although it is a bit tight in places and the canvas does chafe you a little bit under the arms. But other than that, it's a wonderful little jacket. I love mine. You'll love yours too if you ever get the opportunity to wear one. But so you don't know what kind of disturbed individual this guy is, how lonely he is. Is this the beginning of the onset of dementia? He's 76. There's other issues than just arresting him and charging him with lewdness. Is there an underlying issue that provoked this man to make such an outlandish statement by sunbathing nude in the middle of March on a Sunday morning during church services where he knew all of the parishioners at the church were going to see him. I think this may be a subconscious cry for help from a gentleman who is aging and aging alone and just needs a little companionship, somebody to stop by and check on him and say hey once in a while. It's not too much to ask, is it? I mean, I don't think it would be. There's service, there's community, there's are they services? What would you call them? Hey, I guess there are entities out there, whether they be charitable organizations, that's the word I was looking for, or organizations sponsored by public funded money that do check on senior citizens and things of that nature. And rather than charging this guy as just lewd acts and lewd acts against children, let's realize that he is 76 years old and maybe suffering from some type of mental failure if he's got Alzheimer's or just beginning an onset of dementia. It's something that needs to be considered rather than just criminal charges. We're always so quick to file a criminal charge, assign a sentence, and issue a fine so that the cash wheels keep turning, and we forget about the person we're dealing with and the human and the individual that we're dealing with. Figure out if they're worth keeping around. If not, be done with them. If they're fixable, fix them and get them back into society. But just turning the cash cow and letting people be their own worst enemy so that you can keep the money till turning for your municipality, or come on, think about it. That's all they're looking for is court costs and charges. They're going to find them. The church is going to get a little satisfaction, and the county, state, and court's going to get a big fat check. That's just how it's going to work. You're listening to the Thursday edition of the Thunder Walrus Show as we broadcast live and stream video from the Medieval Custom Cycle Studios here in Street, Maryland. We hope you are having a great Thursday. We also got to give a big shout out and thank you to Crave Marketing and Social Media Solutions. Kathy and the crew from Daytona, Florida are working hard and helping us out. Hayes Great Entertainment, Lee Starr and his crew, appreciate them working diligently to get a 2015 tour schedule put together for yours truly, as we'll be making our way around the country to bars, bike rallies, anywhere I can get somebody to hand me a microphone and give me about an hour and a half. Or even longer than that if we're DJing and playing music. You want to party in your town the Walrus way? Well, reach out to Hayes Gray Entertainment. You can find them on Facebook, or you can shoot me an email at tim@thunderwalrus.com. Shoot that email to tim@thunderwalrus.com. Myself, Lee, or somebody will get back in touch with you, and we'll see about getting your venue and event on the 2015 schedule for the Thunder Walrus. There was something, I wanted to mention Ocean City Bike Week coming up. That's September 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. Ocean City, Maryland, Delmarva Bike Week, Bike to the Beach. It's all running together. I think there's like 3 separate rallies that actually take place there on the Delmarva Peninsula that weekend. Yours truly will be at the Poorhouse on September the 11th. Kicking off the week's events, we're going to have a great party that night. We'll take a moment. We'll honor the memory of those who lost their lives that fateful day on 2001 in the Twin Towers, also at the Pentagon, and on that field in Pennsylvania. We'll honor their memory, and then we will kick off Bike Week 2014 Strip Club Chopper style with the Poorhouse. It's at the corner of Baltimore and Wycomico Streets. Johnny Lang, Miss SEC, Eric from Strip Club Chopper Southeast will be there. It's going to be a party and a throwdown. Come on and hang out with us. Maybe you can pick up some Strip Club Chopper swag and apparel. I don't know if Johnny and Eric are going to bring a little table or some swag or not, but we'll have more details about that. Just don't forget, Ocean City Bike Week kicks off September 11th, 2014 at the Poorhouse, Wycomico Streets and Baltimore Streets, right there on the corner in Ocean City, Maryland. Come out and hang out with the Walrus that night. Well, got Messenger End of Time coming up for you. This is the Thursday edition of the Walrus Show. Good morning, y'all. I got one supersized fly hanging around here. I don't know if I got him or not. Probably not. I've been missing them all morning. I'm a horrible aim. Good morning, Walrus Nation. You're listening to the Thunder Walrus Show and watching the live video stream from Medieval Custom Cycles Studios here in Street, Maryland. All right, let's see if I can get this picture put up on Facebook here. I want to share this with you. Boom. Let's see. Nope, that's not going. All right, that's not going to let me do it. So let's back up and do it this way then. There is a logo out there coming that I think is outstanding. I really think it's incredibly thought out. It is disturbing in and of itself. Is it a dirty logo or a great idea? A catering company called Dirty Bird Fried Chicken aroused some controversy with its suggestive logo. Some people who see the logo think it resembles a rooster. Others think it resembles a penis at the point of, let's say, complete satisfaction or no return, however you would like to put it. I, for one, I think it's genius, really. I do. I think it's quite remarkable. Let me get this picture here and see if it'll name it. I'm going to name it DB. And okay, back. All right, now let's see if I've saved it, because if so, I'm going to put it on Facebook. The Dirty Bird, you got to think about it, a D and a B. They started with the lowercase ones and put them back together, back to back, D, B. Then kind of connected the two at the top and put the rooster's plume at the top of it. You see where I'm going with this? Let me see if I can get this picture up here on Facebook. Let's go, bam, find a picture, pictures library, and then go to Tim. Oh, here we are already in Tim, I think, and we should have it. Yeah, we got to get some chance pictures. Hopefully, there it is. Boom. Now, dirty or genius? When your name is Dirty Bird Catering, you've got, I mean, it does, the D and the B look like it makes a ball sack, and then the D, the stem of the D, the stem of the B, you hook them at the top with a bit of an arc, the rooster's plume and the beak. It does look like, but Dirty Bird Catering, I mean, I think it is a remarkable marketing idea, though it's not easy to say. Mark James, the logo's designer, insists it is supposed to be a barnyard bird. We were given the name Dirty Bird as the brief and started working on ideas. We looked at the initials DB, then worked with the lowercase db, linking them to form the shape of a rooster, which really it looks more like a penis to me, but I think it's a great marketing idea. It's a graphic representation of a rooster incorporating the initials. It depends on how you look at it, he said, according to The Mirror, which is a media outlet that reported this story. I'm not sure that there have been any complaints, a few comments, but it is in the eye of the beholder, as they say. Company owner Neil Young insists he never intended the logo for his Cardiff, Wales food truck to appear phallic. We've never really thought about it like that. Our designer created a DB for Dirty Bird and then pushed them together to make a cockle, he told Wales Online. Just to be clear, dictionary.com defines cockerel as a young domestic cock, usually less than a year old, and the word cock in the definition means rooster. But it looks like one. Both kinds of cock, I'm telling you. Young and James may be crying foul, the F-O-W-L kind, about the reaction to the allegedly unintended innuendo, but it should be noted that the food truck does also have a saucy giant poster telling customers to touch my thigh and touch my breast. So I think they're milking the Dirty Bird connotation as much as they possibly can. And I think it's great marketing. We're talking about it. I think it's a cool logo. I'm the one in search of a logo, and I don't know if I'd go with that route. A Dirty Walrus, a Thunder Walrus, a Thunder Walrus. Would that be a huge fat walrus just farting, passing gas, a big cloud plume coming out of his butt, the Thunder Walrus? Just an idea. It's a beautiful Thursday. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're making the most of it with your attitude and positive mindset. If not, be sure to get the wiggle on. It's your chance and opportunity to shake the negativity out of your life and get a clear, positive view of all the good things in your life. Be sure you do it when you need it. Your attitude's the only thing you've got control of. So get control of it. Good morning, Walrus Nation. Good morning, Walrus Nation. You're listening to the Thunder Walrus Show and watching the live video stream on YouTube from the Medieval Custom Cycle Studios in Street, Maryland. We appreciate you taking the time to hang out and join us. So we hope you're enjoying the show. It's that time of the show where I want to share with you the Walrus Wonders question of the day answers. Do you ever take yourself too serious? I love the way everybody responded. Billy Smetana says, yes, me and my other personality argue all the time. It's ridiculous. Painless James McLaughlin says, when I was younger, now I just enjoy the ride. Tammy Blevins says, nope. Charlotte Midnight Rider says, I hang out with you, speaking of me, and then ... seriously, question mark. Lee Bucksbaum said, yeah, but I try not to. Pam Missouri says, not anymore. I know, Pam Pie. I love that. Growth is a great thing. Randy Chalfont says, yes, all the time. I'm my own worst critic. Fat Pat Kelly says, all the time. And Kimberly Barnes, our buddy Kimberly B, says, she says, no. I laugh at myself all the time. Life is too short to take yourself too seriously. It is time, though, to stop dreaming and start living. Life's too short to not live. It is good to dream, but then you have to pursue those dreams. Find your happy cup, or find your happy spot. Find the thing that makes your happy cup the fullest most of the time. MarloThomas.com. This is a quote from there. It says, one of the reasons I started my website is that I wanted a place for women to come together and dream. We women need to know that we don't have to hang out on the old or hang on to an old dream that has stopped nurturing us. That there is always time to start a new dream. This week's story, an excerpt from my new book, It Ain't Over Till It's Over, is about Lori Ann Murphy, a registered nurse who took a trip that led her to teach fly fishing to celebrities and fishing enthusiasts alike. Marlo, and that's from MarloThomas.com. Some women are afraid of change. Others thrive on it. And if you have a wanderlust like Lori Ann Murphy, you seek it out. Lori Ann was a fourth-generation nurse who had started working in hospitals when she was just 14. Too many. Nursing is a secure... what is that, too many? I don't understand this. I think I mistyped something there. Nursing is a secure job, but it's also one that fit Lori's restless temperament perfectly. Hospitals everywhere need nurses, so whenever she got the itch to move, she would look for a job in the Southwest Desert or the Rockies or wherever the Southern California native have never lived. So she just used it as kind of like a traveling roadshow. When she wanted to move on, it was easy to find a job as a nurse. The length of time I spent in any one place varied, she says. On the short side, I'd stay until my curiosity was satisfied. Longer stays usually meant I had something to keep me there. Coursework, a nursing contact, boyfriend, sometimes several, even a husband, 2 of those. But change was always the most important part of the equation. That is until one day when she was in her late 20s and her perception of change changed. Lori Ann was working at a hospital in Arizona when a doctor friend invited her on a fly fishing trip to the Deschutes River in Oregon. If I mispronounced that river, I apologize, but Deschutes is what I came up with. Drifting along the wide river, tucked between the fir-covered cliffs of the eastern Cascades, Lori Ann was struck by the beauty and serenity of the remote location. But what was truly life-changing about the trip occurred when Lori Ann caught her first fish. It was a steelhead, a rare sea-run rainbow trout that spends 2 or 3 years in the ocean, then returns to fresh water to spawn. In this case, the fish would have left the Pacific, traveled up the Columbia River, and then the Deschutes before encountering Lori Ann, who had come all the way from Arizona and had stood hip deep in the river for 4 hours before they met. Here I was holding this amazing creature that had found its way hundreds of miles from the ocean to the river to me, says Lori Ann, and I was blown away by both the marvels of nature and the randomness of the world. I felt so present and had such a deep connection to the fish and to nature. Before coming to Oregon, Lori Ann had been reading The Power of Myth by the philosopher Joseph Campbell and had been intrigued by his teaching, Follow Your Bliss. Fly fishing, Lori Ann discovered, was her bliss, and she began looking for nursing jobs that would allow her to actively pursue it in her free time. She also knew that learning a whole new skill would be somewhat humbling and that she'd have to ask a lot of questions. As Lori Ann's fly fishing proficiency grew, she too, so did her reputation among the locals. Eventually, Orvis, the venerable Vermont-based company that is the go-to source for all things outdoors, certified her as the first female guide. The last step before certification is to take a client onto the river. In Lori Ann's case, the test client was Lehigh Perkins, the owner of Orvis. She said I was late picking him up, which left me a wreck until I finally blurted out, Lee, it makes me too damn nervous knowing you're the owner of Orvis, so I'm going to pretend that you are one of my regular fishing pals and go from there. He said, that's a great idea, lovely. She confirms that he calls her lovely. So and where is the sexual harassment charges for that? So we fished all day and then sat down to dinner about 9 p.m., still wearing our waders. Lori Ann's rising as the fly fishing nurse began creating even more opportunities, some completely unexpected. Such was the case when Universal Studios called out of the blue and offered her a gig teaching Meryl Streep and Kevin Bacon how to fly fish for the movie The River Wild. Then Martha Stewart called. She wanted to do a story on fly fishing in her magazine and needed Lori Ann's help. This is truly finding your bliss, and I think I may be interested in even pursuing that book by the philosopher Joseph Campbell. That sounds like a pretty good book. It also inspired her, and look what just a little bit of change brought her and living her bliss. The fly fishing nurse is really stirring up stuff, but the happy cup thing is what I'm referring to. Keep your happy cup full. Do what you can when you can to keep your happy cup full. And if you don't know what fills your happy cup, then you're not living life. You should be out there having adventures, experiencing things, giving unexplored endeavors at least a chance. Try it. You might like it. You never, ever know. But if you don't try it, you won't ever know. And if you do, happiness may be just right around the corner at the end of a fly fishing rod, as it was for Lori Ann, or whatever your little endeavors lead you to discover The Power of the Myth by the philosopher Joseph Campbell. The Power of the Myth. I think I'd like to check that book out, and he's intrigued by his teaching to follow your bliss. I think we should all do that at some level. Some of us get to do it more than others, and some of us never find our bliss at all, and I find that to be very sad. I got some great train robberies. Sunday on the Rocks. Yes, there's Sunday on the Rocks are quite blissful sometimes, or just a quiet, peaceful Sunday on the back deck, whatever it is. If it brings you a little happiness, it brings you a little bliss, it's worth the effort. Here's great train robbery, and you're listening to the Thunder Walrus Show. Good morning, everybody.
Rutherford County people tonight.
Swatting flies, baby, swatting flies. We've got a little hum going on, I think, on the radio station. It may be time to bring that foam pad that we had that, or it may have been the grinding going on. We're waiting to find out when we come back on air. We'll see what happens. Little great train robbery there with Sunday on the Rocks. You're listening to the Thunder Walrus Show and watching the live video stream from Medieval Custom Cycles in Street, Maryland. We hope you're having a great time and enjoying your day. Oops, let me get over here now. When Spoo hears us, let's see if you hear that hum in the background now, Spoo. There's no grinding going on here. If you heard it, we'd like your feedback. You can always send feedback via the Spreaker chat room. Also send it via Facebook or send me an email to tim@thunderwalrus.com. We will be glad to respond to you or take any constructive criticism if it helps us improve the program and make it better for your listening experience or enjoyment. We are ready and willing to respond. You just got to let us know. Our last segment, some questions you should just answer yourself. Do the research, find out, and this is one of them. A Florida man suspected of killing his friend actually asked Siri for advice on hiding a body. On Tuesday, prosecutors showed the court a screenshot found on Pedro Bravo's iPhone that read, "I need to hide my roommate," according to CBS Miami. Siri responded asking, "What kind of place are you looking for?" Apple's personal assistant offered options ranging from swamps to dumps, according to the picture. WCJB reports, however, that it was also determined that the image was most likely a screenshot Bravo took from Facebook, not an actual search he made. Bravo, 20, is currently on trial for a murder following the death of 18-year-old University of Florida student Christian Aguilera, In September of 2012, forensic experts analyzed cell phone data in order to create a timeline of what happened that night Aguilera was killed. Siri is known for her sassy and straightforward answers. We tried to replicate the question allegedly posed for Siri, and she gave some of the most ridiculous responses. One was, the question went, "I need to hide my roommate." The response says, "I'm sorry." Places to hide a body. Her response was, "I used to know the answer to this." Then, "Where can I hide a body?" The response was, "Very funny." Bravo was accused of drugging and strangling Aguilera inside an SUV parked in a Walmart parking lot in Gainesville and then burying the body in a wooded area outside the city. At the time when Bravo was arrested and charged with first-degree murder before a body was recovered, he told investigators that he left Aguilera unconscious in the parking lot following a dispute over a former girlfriend. The trial is expected to conclude this week. Just some questions you don't want to answer or ask your iPhone. Walrus Nation, it is that time again for us to wrap it up and call it a program. Podcast to be available for your listening pleasure at your leisure. Be sure you spread the word. Share it with your friends and family and let them know the best damn entertainment on the planet is the Walrus Radio Network, where you can catch the Thunder Walrus Show daily at 10 a.m. or Benzotti Live. It's your dose of heavy metal and hard rock here on the Walrus Radio Network. That takes place nightly at 8 o'clock. Check them out. Get your dose of heavy metal and hard rock. Get your dose of positivity and entertainment with the Walrus in the morning. What makes up the Walrus Radio Network, and you make up the Walrus Nation. Until we meet again tomorrow, folks, for the Friday edition. It's going to be a free-for-all Friday here on the program. Be sure you find a way to love yourselves. Once you get that squared away, then spend your time loving others. Spread a little happiness, spread a little joy, and until we meet again tomorrow, peace, Walrus Nation. For those of you watching on the live video stream, appreciate you. Hope the audio was a little better both on the radio and on the video. And we'll meet you again tomorrow for the Friday edition of the Walrus Attack. It's going to be a free-for-all. Stick around. It's going to be a fun time. Till tomorrow, peace, everybody.